Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be the narcissist can't outrun this. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So the relationship is over, and now you're healing and you're focusing on yourself, and you're learning about narcissism. You're learning about toxicity. You're learning about empathy. And above all, you're learning about humanity. Having said these things, what you are doing now is you're putting yourself back together. Sometimes it will be day by day, week by week, month by month. But as you continue on the healing path, you will get stronger. As you get stronger, the narcissist does become weaker. As they get weaker, more and more of your beautiful, bright, shining light will begin to shine in you and out of you and all around you. That's called the mountaintop, the pinnacle of indifference. It's when you really find out who you are. You must know that the narcissist knew who you were before you knew who you were. And you may say, what does that mean? Well, what that means is the narcissist has a sixth sense. And you didn't have this ability in the past. You have it now in your own special way, which is a superpower. But the narcissist is a predator, and they are an apex predator. They're looking for a host. They're looking for someone to feed off of. They're looking for someone to do their cooking, their cleaning, their ironing. They're looking for someone to shovel the snow, to rake the leaves, to put gas in their car, and to turn a blind eye to all the toxicity they were dumping in that person. Unfortunately, that person was you. It was me. So I understand exactly what it's like to be in the narcissistic abusive cycle, post-narcissistic relationship. And I have the unfortunate privilege of knowing what it's like when I was trapped in the cycle, not knowing who I was, but yet the narcissist knew who I was. Because these people look for the vulnerable. They look for the naive. They look for the people who are too trusting and who are believing that everybody has their best interest at heart and believing in what is known as the mask. The mask is what the narcissist wore when they met you. It's what they were wearing when they were with you. It's what they're wearing right now if they're still out gallivanting the globe, looking for other people to take from. The narcissist at their core, they are a parasite, and they're looking for a host. A graphic example, but it is completely true. You were the person who provided for the narcissist. You were what is known as the new supply at one point. You were giving to a fault. You were a people pleaser, I can assure you. You did not have boundaries, and above all, you did not know what narcissism was. If you knew what it was, then you could have seen the signs way back then, and you most likely would not have entered that relationship with the person. But what happened, happened. You can't change the past. You cannot predict the future. What you must do is live in the present moment, which is what I do each and every day. But having said all these things, the narcissist can't outrun this. What they can't outrun is the truth. You see, the truth is littered all throughout the former relationships of the narcissist. Some of those people are still living. Others aren't, unfortunately. Some may have never even existed. They were phantom people that the narcissist made up to trick you and trap you in the relationship with them. But the truth of the matter is, you know what happened when you were in the relationship with the narcissist. What happened with other people when they were with the narcissist, or whatever the narcissist claimed that other people experienced when they were with them. You need to take that with a big grain of salt if it came from the mouth of the narcissist. Because the narcissist talks out of both sides of their mouth. They want to confuse people. They want to trap people. They want to isolate people. They want people doubting themselves. The narcissist changes their story the way you change your sneakers or your socks. One day it's this, the next day it's that. One day they said this, the next day they didn't. This is why the narcissist can't sit still. This is why they're always on the go. This is why they're always on their smartphones. This is why they're always looking for the next new shiny object. This is why they're always looking for the vulnerable and the weak and the naive and the people that are uneducated. But the narcissist can't outrun this. And what it is not only the truth, but it's the reality of all the destruction that they have administered to people from the past. And that actually includes you and includes myself. Most of these people haven't healed. Most of these people haven't put two and two together. Most of these people haven't figured out what narcissism was. And you may say, well, no, I think a lot of people figured it out. Well, not so fast. How long did it take you to figure out what narcissism was? Exactly. It took you a long time. It took myself a long time also. Post-relationship, truth be told, it took me 3 weeks, give or take a day, to figure out what narcissism was, because after the discard, which is approaching a 5-year milestone in a couple days, I wouldn't quit. I wouldn't give up. I was determined. I was focused. I was laser focused on figuring out what had happened to me. So what I did, and perhaps you did something similar, is I typed into the browser, and I believe it was on YouTube, spouse won't talk to me, and boom, here comes all this content. Not so much back then in 2020, but there was content that opened my eyes, like, what is this? I was in denial. I didn't know what I was experiencing. And then I found out, and that's when I dropped to the ground and wailed like a helpless human being, because I could not wrap my head around it. The person who claimed that they loved me, acted like they loved me, walked down the aisle with me, had me raise their kids, do everything and more above and beyond the call of duty, could discard somebody just like that. Well, I didn't know back then what I know now. Now I know it, so I pay it forward by creating videos each and every day. But see, this is what the narcissist can't outrun. They can't outrun the truth of who they are, the truth of what they did. And the narcissist has many witnesses of their abuse. Many people, including their own kids, stepkids, their spouses, their parents, their siblings, their besties of 30 years and more, they watch the narcissist not only administer punishment and ignore it, or administer punishment and act like they didn't do anything, or administer punishment and act like that person deserved it, but they're watching the narcissist fall apart at the seams. When I say that, what I mean is what I've been sharing for almost 5 years. Each and every one of these people, toxic people, if they reach a certain age, they become what is known as the aging narcissist. And the aging narcissist is not a pretty sight to see. You want to stay as far away from those people as you possibly can, but you want to stay away from any toxic person as far away from them as you possibly can. And these are more things the narcissist can't outrun. Father Time, think about it. Time ticks on for all of us. I am older now than I was when I first created my video. I'm older than I was yesterday. I'm certainly wiser than I was 5 years ago, and I'm actually wiser than I was yesterday. And you may say, how is that true, Andrew? Well, each and every day, if I'm not creating videos or having one-on-one sessions or journaling or meditating or experiencing the wonderment of the lifestyle post-narcissistic relationship, I'm focusing on myself, and I'm understanding that I'm grateful to be here. It took me a long time to break the chains, to break the ties, to break the trauma bond of the narcissistic relationship. And the 4 ties, and I've shared it for years, are the emotional tie, the financial tie, the physical tie, and the spiritual tie. I cut them all. And it took me time. It took me a lot of time, but I did it. And as I did it, I healed. As I healed, I got stronger. As I got stronger, the narcissist became nothing more than a little microcosm, a little speck of toxicity that once was. You see, the narcissist exposed themselves just like they always do. And as I shared with you earlier, many people, when they see the narcissist expose themselves, A, they don't know what narcissism is. They can't figure it out. B, they don't know that the person is exposing themselves. They just think that that's poor behavior on someone's part. Maybe they just had a bad day. But what they don't realize, and more people are beginning to realize, is the narcissist was showing you who they were from the very minute they met you. Now, did they wear a mask? Yes, they did. But shortly thereafter, once they figured out that you would be the target, they began to fracture that relationship, specifically post-euphoric / love bomb stage, meaning once they knew that you were invested in them and you possibly would marry them or go down the aisle with them or move in with them or enter a business with them or relocate, whatever it was going to be. Once they knew you were invested, that's when they began to pull back. And as they pulled back, they began to show you who they were more and more. But you couldn't see the signs, or rather, I should say, you couldn't identify the signs because you weren't taught this in school. So many times on the videos that I create, I would say virtually every video I've created over the years, or most of them, I say this exact line, and I'll say it right now. Once you identify that you were with and or perhaps are in a toxic relationship, maybe even with a narcissist, you must remove them, delete them, block them, get off the radar of them, delete them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. I've never really drilled into the people associated with them part. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to touch on it, and I will talk about this much more in the future, because this is a very important piece of the puzzle that many people are struggling with. They can't quite figure out what I mean when I say that. But remember, the further you get away from the narcissist, the clearer your mind gets. The clearer your mind gets, the more the videos I create will click with you, and eventually it will all click. All the puzzle pieces will fall in together. They will all fall into line, and you will have the wisdom that I've acquired. If you stay on the path, you continue to move forward each and every day, and you understand that this is a journey. It's not a marathon. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a journey, and it's a journey for you to break the chains and to heal and to get to that beautiful, bright, shining light place that I call the mountaintop of indifference. Now, having said that, People associated with the narcissist. Notice how I usually share block the narcissist, flying monkeys, and people associated with them. The people associated with them is what I'm going to talk about here. Many people that the narcissist associates themselves with, some of which you knew, most of which you didn't. Please understand this, most you didn't. These people are toxic just like the narcissist. Are they as nasty and evil and dark mindset as the narcissist? Possibly, I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you is, remember, there are many people that you knew when you were with the narcissist, and many people you introduced the narcissist to. And they acted like they met those people before you, I'm sure, but that's not reality. Reality is you introduced them to them. But then there were people that the narcissist introduced you to. The narcissist isn't going to introduce you to anybody unless it benefits them in some way. Pause. Now I'm going to the people that are associated with the narcissist. There were dozens, if not hundreds, maybe even thousands. Yeah, it's not too high, it's not too hard to imagine. It could be thousands of people that the narcissist never introduced you to, because these people are predators themselves. Maybe even just as toxic as the narcissist, maybe worse. I can't tell you. What I can tell you is the narcissist can't run from these people either. You see, the narcissist is loyal to nobody, and the narcissist will backstab anybody that they want to whenever they want to if they have access to that person. And these people that are associated with the narcissist, most of them are just as bad as the narcissist or as toxic. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And you may say, how would you know that? And what makes you say that? Well, I know it because think about this. When the narcissist wasn't with you, where were they? You'll never know. You will think that you would have thought you knew where they were when they told you where they were, but many times when they told you they were somewhere, they weren't. Example, a girl's weekend away, or a guy's weekend away, or a week vacation with their mom, or a week getaway with their best friend. This is when you're married to the narcissist. Think about it. Why would somebody do that? It's because they're doing something behind your back that they may not want you to know. Maybe down the road they did want you to know. Most likely they were living not a second life or a third life. They were living like a 300th different life. And they were doing it with other people that were just as toxic. So there's an expression in English, and I probably won't get this perfectly, but water goes to its own level, meaning all the water levels go to one level or different levels where it finds its natural level, whatever that thing is. That's what the narcissist does. When you were with them, you elevated them. You took them higher than they ever thought imagined. You were the fuel source. You were the beautiful, bright, shining light who was giving to a fault and doing everything you possibly could to fix an irreparable relationship or an unfixable relationship, but you didn't know it. The narcissist was fortunate to have spent time with you because you educated them, you taught them, you showed them love, you showed them empathy, you probably started their business for them or raised their kids or did any and or all of those things. But they took advantage of that. And once they took whatever they wanted from you, they crumbled you up like a sheet of paper, threw you away in the freeway and disappeared and slithered off onto a new source of supply. Well, one of those sources of supply may have been the people associated with the narcissist, which is what I'm referring to here. Those people are not good people. Some of them may be. I would speculate very few are. So think about this. Imagine, if you will, before you met the narcissist, they were in toxic relationships, or they were hanging out with people that perhaps you wouldn't even think twice about hanging out with, meaning you wanted nothing to do with those people. And that's where that's who the narcissist was hanging out with or spending time with. Well, the narcissist meets you. What do? They change their identity like that. All of a sudden they're wearing a polo shirt, or their hair looks good, or their nails are done and their eyelashes are on. They become a different persona because they're not hanging out with the low vibrational people they were hanging out with that you will never meet, because they had to change to fit into what you were looking for or to what they thought that you wanted to see. When they fit into your world, that's when they began to peel the mask off. And that's when they began to not be around you as much. And what did they do? That's right. They went back to that low vibrational state with those people that most of which you will have never met. Some you may have met and you were like, why would you spend time with that person? I don't get it. Well, now you understand what they do when they're not with you. They go back to their natural vibrational state, which is lower than your shoe. You see, the narcissist knew what they had in you. They had the best thing they will ever have in you. And now you're realizing that for the first time. They were never your equal. They were never on par with you. They weren't smarter than you. They weren't more intelligent than you. They weren't more handsome or beautiful than you. They wanted you thinking that. What they did is they manipulated you. They played mental jujitsu with you. They trapped you in that zombie-like, trance-like state so you would believe that they were the answer to the cure you were looking for, or the cure to the answer, whatever it was. But the truth is, these people are empty vessels. There's nothing inside of them. There's nothing but bitterness, anxiety, shallowness, hollowness. There's no originality to them, and they know that. And eventually, they all go back to where they came from, which is the low vibrational people that they used to hang out with. Now, you noticed I used the word hang out with a couple times. I haven't said that word in videos probably ever. I'm saying it because these are the kind of words... Oh, bunny rabbit was right there. You can see his little cottontail right there. These are the words that the narcissist would say. Hanging out. Things like that. I don't use those kind of words. I would say spending time or associated your time with. But the narcissist, what they do is when they weren't with you, acting like they were the high and mighty, or living the best life, or the country club lifestyle, or golfing 5 days a week, or going to the fancy restaurants, or spending your money on Amazon, or traveling all over the world on your dime, or taking pictures in front of an Egyptian pyramid and you weren't even in the picture, or walking 30 feet in front of you, or taking pictures at events when they were on the left, you were on the far right, and they were glowing eye to eye because they knew the new supply was standing right next to them, and you were grinning ear to ear because you weren't with the person that you were in the trauma bond with. I could go on for 20 hours straight talking about this without a glass of water because I lived it. And you know what I'm talking about because you made it this far in the video. So having said that, the people associated with the narcissists, mainly the people you will never meet, most of those people are toxic. You may say, well, not really. Some of them are good people. I'm sure some are. But think about this. Think about the people you were introduced to. Most of those people, or a lot of those people you were introduced to, you wanted nothing to do with them ever again because they were in the same family. There's the bunny right there. See? Right there's the little bunny. Because they were in the same family as the narcissist and they turned out to be just as toxic, or they were enablers, or they were turning a blind eye, or they were watching your life implode, or all of the above. But this is why I say in the videos, when you go no contact, block, delete, block, remove the narcissist and all flying monkeys and people associated with them, because the people associated with them are just as nasty as the narcissist. I'm going to say it one more time before I close the video. It's not all of them. It's a lot of them. An awful lot of them. And the further you get away from the narcissist, the more you will see this. The more you see it, you will realize it wasn't just one person who was the apex predator, the narcissist. It was that person that you were in the relationship with, but they had a litany, an army, a cascade of people that were drinking the Kool-Aid they were pouring, or drinking the Kool-Aid that other people were pouring, and they were sitting back and watching your life implode. And many of these people are the people that are associated with the narcissist. And many of those people you will never know, and thank goodness you never will know them, because they did know you. They were watching you. They learned about you, and they were listening to the smear campaign and so much more. Understand one thing. If you're out of the relationship, stay out. If you've gone no contact, maintain no contact. If you block them, don't even consider unblocking them. Don't be peeking on social media. Don't be asking people to get updates on the narcissist. This is the holiday season. The holiday Hoover is right around the corner. Stay away from it. Continue to maintain your boundaries and continue to shine higher than that beautiful, bright, shining light, the golden sunshine which is within you. And this is what makes you you. This is what separates you from everybody else. And this is why you are stronger than you know. And this is why the narcissist can't outrun Father Time, the truth, who they really are, and what they had done to people. You know the truth. You understand where you were. You're out. You're healing, or you've healed. You need to stay out and continue to focus on yourself. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. I'll say this before I close the video. I tried to create this video. This is my 6th time trying to do it. I couldn't do it for various reasons, but this, I believe, is the best version of the video I created today. Usually, I can just put the camera where I want to put the camera down, in the jungle, in the rainforest, in the trees, wherever in a field, and one shot, one take, I do it. But I had to stop and start this 6 different times because of sound and lighting and things. And at first I was like, wow, I really had a good one going. But this version is actually the best version. And remember, each and every video I create come from real life experiences. There's no script, there's no AI. This is me living a real life, and I've healed. And if you know who I'm talking about, meaning having to heal, and if you've been there, you can finish my sentence. I can certainly finish your sentence in a second, I can assure you that. But don't tempt fate. Don't unblock the narcissist, and no, they will get their karma. They will get their whatever's coming to them, but it won't come at your hands or the hands of a human being. It will come at the hands of something much greater than us. So continue to take the high road, shine higher and brighter than ever. Continue to shine that beautiful gold shine within you, and leave the narcissist in the past. These people, all they do is continue to slither all over the globe, looking for the weak, the vulnerable, the naive, and the uneducated. That was me. That was you. We are now educated. We are not vulnerable. We're not naive. And we are stronger than we know. I love you all. God bless you. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.